I don't know how much is left on this. Good morning! It's Crystal here at Athena, and we have some exciting stuff happening today. We are wedding prepping today, so all of this stuff, we're going to go ahead and double check all of the things on our list over here, make sure we have everything. And we're going to load this up and get ready to set up because we get to have the venue a day before the wedding, which is always super convenient because we can go through every single thing. It's a little bit cloudy today, but it looks like it's supposed to be perfect weather for an outdoor wedding tomorrow, so let's get started. What I'm going to do is go ahead and pull up the vehicle, back it up right into our opening garage area so that I can load it in. It's really going to be a beautiful day. Things that are going to be placed outside for their outdoor ceremony section, we're going to have them placed by the door that goes outside instead. And as far as the florals, all of that starts tomorrow, but you're going to get to see a sneak peek of what it looks like when we get to set up a day in advance. We get to go over the wedding rehearsal after setup. It's going to be super relaxing, super smooth, and it's really just a convenient thing to have the ceremony and reception space the day before. It's not always something you can do depending on the venue, but sometimes when you do pay that little extra, it's worth it for a little bit more time to enjoy your day without having to worry about the setup. You're gonna see at the end how we put this all back in, but I tell you what, sometimes it is quite an interesting feat to try to make everything fit in for this wedding, and we managed to get it all ready and packed up. Here it is. Wedding planner / rentals vehicle, and now it is time for us to head that way. I'm so excited. Okay, looks like we're here, and I think the venue owners are here, so gonna go meet with them real quick and let them know I'm here. And the good thing about having a wedding coordinator is we get to know a lot of vendors and the owners of the venues, and we just kind of have a good relationship. So typically we're pretty aware of what needs to be done at venues to make sure that there's no damage deposits needed or necessary afterwards for anything that got forgotten to be cleaned up, etc. So here we are. Okay, so the first thing we do is check in with the venue owners, make sure everything's good to go over all of my cleanup responsibilities, and now I'm gonna get these out first, put them on the table so it'll be easier to set up. Looks like rain's gonna come, so I'm gonna try and get this car loaded quick. So I was the first one on site, which is how it really should be. I was chatting with the venue owner as I was putting on the tablecloths. Sometimes I really like to be the first person who is here because it takes away the pressure of everything not looking exactly as perfect as it's going to. The thing that I can do is see what it's supposed to be without having it all put together. Sometimes it's harder for other people who are involved with the wedding to see the final product, and they get a little bit concerned during the setup. So I was able to get most of the tables laid out, and then the bridal party was able to show up to help finish up the table topping. For this setup, we used dollies, and we were going ahead and putting our candles on each of the tables as well as our gray polyester napkins. The catering will be coming in tomorrow to do the rest of the table layout as well as the florist. So we're just getting the main stuff prepped. And I would say that this is probably the most time consuming of all of the things that you're going to put together. People don't realize how much effort it does take once you have a whole team putting together every single table with all of the layout being the exact same, showing the folds and the tricks to make it look the way we had it look the easiest. It goes a lot quicker with more people. When it's just one person, this process is 100% the longest for the setup. One of the nicest parts about coming in early is that the drapists could come in early as well and start setting up the drapery inside. Here's a sneak peek of where we are so far. The bride's mom made cookies. That was a huge motivation for us to keep going. So the plan is to be outside, but right now we are inside, and I am making a plan. You'll see these bright neon sticky notes that say move out. They're my notes for when we do a room flip. If we are inside wedding with the pending weather tomorrow, I'll know which tables I need to move, and the garage doors will shut in between them. The chairs will not be set up at the tables that are in the ceremony space, and instead will be made into the aisle, and these chairs inside here will be prepped for the ceremony. But this way, everybody who is on the team for the room flip notes is on the same page to make sure that the space will be adequate for everybody who's going to be here for the party. Next thing I gotta do is put together the photo booth so it starts charging and I start working on it. Look at these really cute party favors. I love them. So we put them right here. This sign will get moved if we end up going outside, but we want it to be the place where people are walking into the ceremony so that people know to turn off their cellular devices and not worry about what side to sit on. It's always nice if you're going to be doing sides to have that labeled for bride side or groom side, or pick a seat, not a side. People are always curious on where to sit, so giving them direction really helps out. We have our welcome to our wedding sign. This is where the ushers will be standing, either right out these doors if it's bright, or right inside these doors to collect gifts, help people go through and sign their guest book. This will have flowers on it, but afterwards, when I flip the room, this is going to get moved into the dance hall with a new sign saying, "Trust me, you can dance," from your friend, Alcohol, which will be a really fun sign for people who are getting on the dance floor. So it's a 2-for-1 kind of a deal with those. So we're all pretty much done. Drapery is coming back to get a few more things. And I'm gonna go ahead and set up this arbor up here. If they get married, they're gonna be standing with this arbor. If they don't get married inside, they are going to be outside, which will be so beautiful, but they can still use this for really wonderful moments with the pictures. One of my favorite things to have on me when I am doing coordination is a fanny pack. Holds everything hands-free. Right, so pretty much the setup is like ready. Can you believe it? After lunch, I gotta come back and do just the final touches, but the rooms are ready to go, and Drapery's finishing up with the lighting. He had to go grab something. We have candles going down this walkway just in case this is an inside wedding. And then we also are going to be having florals going down the aisles. So pro tip is using your aisle decor for some of your tables. Half the tables are one centerpiece and the other half is a different centerpiece. So we're going to be doing some cleaning on this here in a minute with our glass cleaner, but we have 3-tier candles with some live greenery that'll be out here. And then every other table is going to be the base with florals in it. We're using half of those florals going down the aisle. So then after the ceremony ends, I'm going to be picking those up and placing them on the tables as centerpieces. It's a great way to be budget friendly and not be wasteful on your big day by just reusing some of those items that you are using already for your wedding. Another quick pro tip from the behind the scenes is who is collecting the gifts, who is collecting the extra beer that the client owns. So what I'm doing is writing down the bride's dad. I'm gonna find him and get the keys because I'm going to be loading up the gifts into his car. One thing your wedding coordinator should always have is a small handheld steamer for little tiny wrinkles. This is Ashley. She is helping walk around with glass cleaner on all of our cylinder bases with our candles inside of it. That way they're shiny, sparkly, and this is a must-have as well for your coordinator. Here's a behind the scenes of wedding rehearsal time frame. It is a lot of work to try to get everyone to follow directions and listen and hear as we get ready to go through the motions. We're going to walk down as if we are getting married inside first, and then we're going to go outside and prepare as if we're going outside. The most important thing is to make this fun. This is going to be a fun day. It's not going to be a stressful day. So once the groom makes it up to the place, there's so many different ways you can do it. He walked down with his brother, met with the officiant at the altar, and his bridal party are on each side of the stairs up here. So I'm going on each side of the stairs to let them know when to go down and where they're going to be standing. And that way they can have their positions placed and know what to do. Now here's where the waterworks come. After the bridal party has gone through their positions 2 times to help make it solidified and memorized, the bride gets to walk down with her father. Make sure that you take your time. This is your big day. This is a day for you to walk down the aisle. You don't need to rush through it. You don't want to make it too quick. You want to be able to take your time and enjoy it and embrace every second of it. Then we let your officiant take over and go through the process of what you've discussed with him, and at the end we walk through where you're going to go after you leave. We're going to tuck you all away. The marriage license will need to be signed. Your photographer is going to want a few pictures with you before you go back to your cocktail hour and have your grand entrance, and your bridal party will need to know where to go as well afterwards and what order to leave out in. Time to go outside. We reset. We do the same thing. We go through the process where we're going to stand twice. And then we walk our bride back to our groom and have the officiant do what he'll do outside. Welcome to the next day. It's officially wedding day. We're so excited. We have the florals coming in. Woohoo! It is wedding day and we have a lot of things going on. The bride is so happy with how it's all looking. And right here I have the little toss bouquet. So what we like to do with the toss bouquet is go ahead and have it at the table. Just gonna be sitting that way it's ready to rock and roll for her toss. And I'm gonna get ready to take the ladies' bouquets upstairs and let them see them. I'll show you first though. Here it is. Yay! So I'm gonna go ahead and take this one upstairs first so you can hear their response to getting it. Look what I have. Cute bouquet! I have all the other girls. They're gonna get theirs here in a minute, but they do have water inside of them for you to take them out. She has it hidden inside, so if you see them, that's what they're for. They just keep them happy the whole time. And they're pretty. Now it's time to make sure all of our candles are ready. So we are prepping them and making sure we know how many batteries we need to restock on our candles. So we just go through and double check, and then we always have extra batteries in our wedding emergency kit just in case, but we were prepared for these because we knew that we had bought some brand new, so they were going to need some batteries. Nothing will ever go to waste with us, so if you have any extra greenery or florals, we're going to find a way to dress up your space even more. I love putting together these behind the scenes moments to show our brides what they're going to get when they use our service. Here's an upcoming clip of me getting ready to vlog but then taking care of a problem. Okay guys, it's Crystal and Ashley and we are still waiting for some vendors, but the DJ has arrived. We've had delivery of some of the photography from a separate photographer that is not photographing the wedding. They're going to be here at 12. And then we've had the florals be finished up and they've arrived. And pretty much now we're just waiting for catering. And luckily the catering is also the bartending. It's also going to be the bakery. So it's 3 in 1, which is nice because they're going to show up at the same time. And they're going to be here within an hour. So we're kind of waiting for the vendors to get going. And what are the girls doing? They are upstairs, they're drinking their mimosas, their moms are upstairs, not working on their big day. Can you just look at how beautiful this setup is so far? We have to tell you something. One of the vendors came in and he said, I don't think I've ever seen this venue look as good as this before. Can't disclose the name, but he was very impressed, so we're excited. So one of the wedding planner phone hacks is I have this earpiece on my ear that's connected to my work phone. So anytime someone's gonna text me from now on, the phone is officially on silent mode, but I can hear every phone call and every text message that comes in through my phone. As just a quick tip, I wanted to point out that when I showed you my phone, it also has my background screen as the wedding timeline for both the ceremony and the reception. That way it's easy for me to be able to keep track of when everyone should be arriving, what we should be doing, and have a tentative plan if it goes off course. My earpiece is black, that way it's not very noticeable, and then it comes out after all of the main things are done and the main contacts have gotten a hold of me. My most important job is to be able to make sure I can reach any vendor who's not answering their phone. We did have one photographer who was supposed to be assisting the first photographer who was not answering her phone, and we were able to get a hold of her within 10 minutes and a hold of the owner within 20 minutes. That way we could have a resolution and let the bride know what was going on. This all happened while she was getting ready, and I never come to the bride with a problem unless I have an answer. Here! Catering! Beautiful Melissa! Girl, these are beautiful. Looks like we're prepping for outside. Ooh, looking. That dresses it up like crazy good. Yes.
I'm putting the set tape on the music stand so he can place his binder on it and it won't fly.
Okay, that's good.
You can always be with me.
Pro tip time. When you're having an outdoor wedding, it's best not to set up the outdoor wedding until about 2 hours prior. The venue owners are awesome. They came out, they helped put it together. Our bridal party did a really great job coming together, and we are taking the florals from our centerpieces to use as our aisle runway. I gotta go through and make sure that all of these florals are gonna be pushed in. We don't want the dress to bump it over. And here's a first look with the dad. Oh, don't we just love first looks? So precious. So we're finishing up family photos, and the last thing we're going to do is pretty much done. The DJ setting up outside for the outside ceremony. We got super blessed with no rain for our time frame. So I'm just kind of monitoring the arrival time. Everyone needs to be tucked away by 3:15. It is currently 2:45. Another thing that we do is when vendors are leaving, the bride's over here taking photos, kind of busy, and so they reached out to me and said, hey, the girl who did the hair, makeup, the bride still owes me this amount. Can you please just send her my Venmo and how much she owes me so that she doesn't have to interrupt her photos being taken? That's my job. And I'm going to forward that information over to her and follow up with that progress later. So that's just one of the things that helps when you have a wedding coordinator, because we're helping you when you don't realize you're needing the help. So I didn't get this on video, but the boys needed some boutonnieres put on. We also know how to do that. Time for party shoes. Party shoes. Party shoes. Oh. One of the most important things I think that we do as a wedding coordinator is have our wedding emergency kit. One of the boys, the back of their suit had come undone and it looked like it was unraveling, so we used a safety pin to pin it back where it needed to be. That way it would stay together for the remainder of the ceremony. We were too busy trying to fix it to get any videos, but that's one of the things that we do. Also, ladies, don't forget, humidity takes a toll on the hair. We also have bobby pins and hair supplies to help with that too. It's officially time to wear our event shoes. Sneakers for setup, heels for ceremony. Okay, let's get in the right line. Let's get in the right lineup. As your wedding coordinator, we are always going to be there on the side. That way, if anybody's hesitant about if it's their turn to go out, they can just look over and we can give them the thumbs up. We also like to give the cue for the music to fade all the way out once it's time for the bride to come out, as a cue for our officiants to say all rise. However, if you position yourself in a spot where they're going to see you, it's always easy for me to make a hand gesture as if I was saying to stand up, and it helps remind the officiants to say all rise for the bride to come out. After giving that cue, the bride made it out there, and we also helped cue the DJ so he could see when she made it to the front to turn down the music. Looks like nobody's going to object, so now it's time to do some room flips. Now that we can safely assume nobody's going to try to steal the bride away, time to move our sign and flip it into the Just Dance sign. We're also going to take these glasses the boys had when they were lining up and put them back into the groomsmen's room, and put up this garage door to open up the reception hall. Come back outside, and it looks like we made it there just in time to remind them where to go so they can get their marriage license signed, be tucked away, and get their photos taken to prepare for the grand entrance. Now it's time to move these to centerpieces. Luckily, we had some help. Let's get in the same order you walked in, except for the fact that you two walk in together last, okay? Also, a heads up, the bartender's going to your table after you have your food, and she's going to get your drinks for you guys. So you're not waiting. She's going to come out to your table, all right? You're welcome. So don't worry about the drink line. Once we make sure catering is ready, the grand entrance begins, and we let the DJ know to start it up. You just saw the behind the scenes on the grand entrance. I coordinate that with the DJ, make sure he's ready to go before we start the process. And then we also make sure we're hiding tucked away to let them know when it's time for them to walk in, but we're not interrupting the pictures. When you're doing your first cake cutting, we're always nearby to make sure that if you have any assistance you need help with, we're there for you. A lot of times our brides and grooms forget to grab their piece of cake, so I go ahead and take care of that for you and take it to your table. We also made sure to pack away their cake as soon as they had their own piece because they were using cupcakes for their guests. So we're hiding in the kitchen, eating our food now, and everything's done. The dances are all done, so we're just hanging out with the crew.
Oh, so good.
We're gonna munch this down and start doing some of the side work that you guys don't see. All right, now that everything is done and we've had a little bit in our stomachs, we're going to start packing away all these items, including some of the decorations. While everyone's over here having a great time, we're over on the sidelines making sure that the napkins are getting put away because no one's using them anymore. Those are the first things we're going to take off the table and put in a different spot. We also look at any of the decorations that don't want to get ruined from any of the crazy dancing, and we pack those away as well. Here's a pro tip: your wedding coordinator should always have OxyClean spray. Here's why. My biggest priority is to be a help for you, so one of the biggest helps is making sure no damage deposits are needed. This definitely would have been a severe stain that might have been a damage deposit to replace the tablecloth. Not anymore, now that I've gotten the stain off. This is what I did to at least 15 tables. And it seems like an appropriate time. We are going to start taking off the center pieces just slowly and packing them away. Another job is restocking paper towels. Are there any gentlemen in here? Yeah. Okay. I have towels right outside the door for you, okay? And I told you we wouldn't be able to fit you in here. Alright. Once we started our cleanup, the heels get kicked off and the sneakers get put back on. It's the easiest way. We go find our venue owner, make sure we know exactly what we are responsible to clean up before we leave, and we make sure to take those items out for our clients. If they pay for a cleaning package, it really does save a lot of the time and gets us out on time. A lot of venues close at 11, so we need to be off-site around 11 o'clock. We don't forget our job is not done. We still need to get a hold of the drapist and let him know that the party is almost over and the time frame for him to get there right when everyone's leaving. We also have the florals on the wall and the balcony still that the florist will come and take down by Sunday. And we have extra florals. Looks like nobody really took much of it home, so we got to have some flowers on our way back home. After grabbing extra things left from the bridal suite and the groomsmen suite, we cleaned up the bar, took out the flowers, and got the A-OK to leave. That was crazy, and it's the behind the scenes of what you get when you hire Athena Events, Ashley and Crystal, as your wedding coordinators. Time to go home and crash. Bye guys.